Ryan Garcia is in big trouble, or is he? So yesterday, well, the early hours of this morning, it was revealed that Ryan Garcia failed multiple tests. One just before the fight with I was going to say Tank Davis, Devin Haney, and one just after it for the likes of Ostarine, Nandrolone, and they're two substances which have been, well, they've had some, I would want to say high profile. Certainly with Nandrolone, you had the Furies, Tyson and Huey. With Ostarine, as I said, you had Lucas Brown, you had Povetkin, you had Butte. I'm sure there might have been someone else, but that's been associated with boxing as well. So these are two substances that were found, I think amongst others. I think Clan might have been there as well, but with Ryan Garcia. Now, Ryan Garcia has come out and immediately proclaimed his innocence, as you would expect. The New York State Athletic Commission or New York State Commission are launching an investigation with a view of having this fight overturned, and I'll be the first to say if Ryan Garcia is guilty, then 110% they need to absolutely overturn this fight to an immediate no contest. It's bad enough that he came in overweight, which is very unprofessional. That's bad enough. But to fail multiple tests for multiple different substances, nah. You get that overturned and you get a ban. That's what happens. My take on drug cheats, maybe I'm a bit more forgiving than certain people when it comes to drug cheats. But my kind of way has always been, if it's your first time, if it's a first time offense, you need to be punished. But some people say like it should be a lifetime ban. I don't agree with that for a variety of reasons. I don't agree with that, one, because there are certain fighters I want to see. So even if and it's like Jarrell Miller. I know he's a scumbag, I know he's a drug cheat, but I still enjoy watching him fight. I still enjoy the entertainment factor watching him fight. So there's that. There's also the fact of, well, how legally is a lifetime ban? Legally, how viable is that? Because some would claim that, yeah, although I was caught with my hand in the cookie jar, but now you're stopping me from earning a living. Whereas at least with a lengthy ban, you're not like stopping them for forever earning a living, just for a long period of time. Alright, so my kind of way has always been, if the first time offense, 6 months is nothing. There's no point giving them a 6 month ban. Most top fighters only fight once a year, twice a year, if even, anyway. So they need an 18 month ban would be kind of the sweet spot, I think, because it's long enough that you will face a punishment, but it's not so long to, I kind of want to throw the baby out with the bathwater with regard to someone failing the test. Because someone could fail a test and then go through the rest of their career completely clean, or certainly passing the test. So that, that can happen. If it's a case of you've done that, you've served your ban, and you come back and you reoffend, that's different. Then we got to talk about throwing the book at you. Then we got to talk about the 3-4 year bans, which will really F your career up. Even if unless you're reasonably young, a 4-year ban to a 23-year-old is not the same as it would be to a 33-year-old. Chances are those 4 years, you're done. But nevertheless, 4 years is still 4 years. So that's how I've always seen it. Now with Ryan Garcia, we look at those pictures against Tank Davis, and yes, understandably, he was depleted in that fight. He agreed to a catch rate, agreed to a rehydration clause. He didn't have to, but he did, and he looked, like that. Even on fight night, he looked horrendous. You contrast that to how he looked in the ring against Devin Haney, and yes, he did miss weight, but he looked a lot fitter, a lot fresher, a lot bigger, noticeably. And the way he fought on fight night, he was, fighting like a man possessed almost. Now, we know Ryan has good attributes, but, I don't want to go and throw the baby out of the bathwater straight away necessarily, but it does look bad for Ryan. It absolutely does. You have these, what would you say? I don't even want to know, but you have these likes of Tank Davis who immediately are coming out and they're blaming Eddie Hearn and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, it's all Eddie Hearn. It's like, what in God's name has Eddie Hearn have to do with this? They're saying, he's done this, and Jake Paul saying he's done that. It's like, what? And it's one thing to, it'd be one thing to accuse someone, and that what you're saying, although some people might look at it and say, it's a bit out there, but you might be onto something. And then crucially, the person you're accusing doesn't sue. It's normally an indication, especially if they have grounds. Like say they're someone rich, and they could easily afford to sue you. They could easily afford to go down that road because of defamation, but they don't. Something like that happens, you kind of like, okay, that's a bit interesting. Yes, you're making claims about him, and you could definitely say it's defamation, but he's not doing anything. It's just, But when the person does do something, you kind of tend to be like, yeah, but there you go. Now, Ryan Garcia, as I said, is obviously out proclaiming his innocence. Against Tank Davis, as I said, he looked like that, and then you contrast that to how he looked in the ring against Devin Haney. It was a big difference. People are saying now that, well, that explains why he missed weight, because he's obviously used said substances and now has put on too much weight, put on too much muscle, and now he's talking about going up to 147 as opposed to 140. That could be another indication. Right now, we're so early on in this investigation. We need to wait for more information to come out. We need to see, are they going to check any B samples and stuff like that. I do have a little bit more faith that it's certainly in the US, this will get resolved a lot quicker than it will in the UK, because people will bring up the Conor Benn situation, and that's 100% spot on, 100%. But it's not the first time we've seen these things get dragged down. I mean, the Fury UCAD situation, that went on so long that by the time Tyson Fury was finally banned, the ban was backdated because it went on that long. It was mental. So I think in the US we'll probably see, especially in a place like New York where they seem pretty on the ball, we'll see a resolution pretty damn quickly, or we'll definitely get some more clarification pretty quickly. The one thing I will say with Ryan Garcia is a superstar. He's a cash cow. He was a big cash cow even going into this fight, even after the loss to Tank Davis. Getting that win, although it may be tainted now, someone like Ryan, who is a big star, they do tend to get favourable treatment. That's what I will say. If you look at Canelo Alvarez, when he had his issues with the tainted beef, we'll say, back about 6 years ago now, straight away WBA, WBC instantly absolved him. Oh yeah, we believe the tainted beef, this, that and the third. I think he only served, a 6-month ban in Las Vegas or something like that. Something small. It was minor. It was laughable. Canelo Alvarez, who sometimes fights every 6 to 8 months anyway, to get a 6-month ban, that's laughable. That's a joke. That's not even a ban. That's nothing. The guy could fight in September and not fight till May. That's longer than 6 months. That's just, it's a joke. And that's Canelo Alvarez, a cash cow superstar, which Ryan Garcia is as well. If he is guilty, he may only get a little slap on the wrist, if even. If he was a B-side fighter, the book would be thrown at him. But with these cash cow fighters, you don't tend to see that happen. Very seldom. If ever, really. I'm struggling to think of an example when I've seen an A-side fighter really get the book thrown at them. Very seldom. You also got to look at Devin Haney in this as well, because people will say, well, gee, it's not that bad for Haney in a way, because if Ryan Garcia is guilty and they do turn it to a no contest, well, the O is back. Yeah, but the beating he took still remains. That's not gonna, it's like saying, David Price, when he got knocked out by Erkan Tepe, that they had to make that a no contest because Erkan Tepe had half a Columbia in him. Yeah, he still got brutally knocked out. You're not just gonna undo that by saying, do you remember that brutal, devastating, horrendous knockout you got in the second round, or you got knocked out in the second round? Yeah, we're overturning that. Well, that's brilliant. The record will show that, but neurologically, hey, that's not going to make a damn bit of difference. And I know Devin Haney wasn't knocked out as bad as David Price was, or some other fighters have been, but nevertheless, he still down 3 times, and he took a lot of big shots from Ryan Garcia in there. So it's you look at that thinking how will Devin Haney might have a new lease of life and say, right, well, I'm back to being undefeated, but still, you took a big old beating in there. How are you going to be? How are you going to be psychologically, physically, mentally, etc. after that? Because yeah, you could say the wrong has been righted, but you still went through that. So how is Devin Haney going to be? We need to really watch this very closely, see how it goes, see how it unfolds. And yeah, let's wait. I hope that this isn't another situation like Conor Ben, where we're waiting all the while Garcia is able to fight, do whatever he wants to do. I hope it's not like that. I doubt it will be, but you just don't know. You just don't know. I can't see Ryan Garcia doing the Dylan White, in which you have what they call it, an adverse analytical finding, and then you just stay quiet for a couple of months and then just discreetly come back. Can't see him doing that. That would probably be the best advice I would give, is just keep your mouth shut and let due process happen. Not everyone is like a Dylan White. Anyway, we're going on here for a little bit. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comment section below. Is Ryan Garcia in trouble? Or do you think that this is just going to be a simple, slap on the wrist? Yeah, we'll give him a 6-month ban and there you go. Boom. See you later. Happy days. All too good. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you could. Subscribe, of course, as always, if you haven't already. Peace.